Welcome to the TE Spotlight, where we shine a light on the next and new authors, artists, comedians, choreographers, actors, directors, musicians, internet personalities, up-and-comer or well-established, people you need to know and people you need to know more about. This is the TE Spotlight. You've tuned into the TE Spotlight, and today in the Spotlight we have the author of a new book entitled Revolutionary Powercycles, The Science of Sweats. His name is Giacomo Fasano, and Giacomo is a native New Yorker who has worked and lived there his entire life. He enjoys being around people and brings over 28 years in experience in the health, fitness, and sales and marketing industries. He also shares the insight of a legal mind from his JD in law from Pace University of Law in New York, and he is known by his peers for his aggressive persistence and vivacious tenacity, as well as his gentle sense of humor. Now, this is going to be fun for me to have someone who is aggressive, vivacious, and gentle. That's going to be a welcome change on the Spotlight. So why don't we welcome you on in? How are you doing today, Giacomo? Good to meet you.
Great, Tomas. Thanks for that wonderful introduction. That was great. I'm doing great, and I welcome all the listeners and thank them for their time. And as I said, I'm wishing out a star, and that star is them. And I believe I've got some information that's God-given that can help the stock rise, and in simple format, too, which is what people like, right?
So let's jump right into it. Revolutionary Powercycles, The Science of Sweats. What are we talking about?
I think when I talk about my book, the funny parts about my book is how did I think of writing my book? Well, it was based on me starting to run at 36, and about 5 years ago when I was 46, 10 years into it, looking in the mirror and saying, what's going on here? This is funny. I'm feeling amazing. I'm running. I'm sweating. I thought, I got to write a book about this without any knowledge of the science. And then what happened after that is all the science started coming together and blowing my mind, and it was almost like a story that was meant to be told, and the whole thing was kind of like, you know how that works when you just feel things were meant to be a certain way. And my running and that whole look in the mirror thing, next thing you know, you're talking about life-saving facts, diagrams, oversight, incredible information that I'm going to share that's just mind-boggling, and truly is a life and game changer here. I am not kidding when I tell you that instantaneously, if you follow my program, the day of, you will feel some very uplifting things that we can talk about. Never mind long-term. You know, I'll confidently tell your listeners that I'll stop your aging. You can look in the mirror. You can stay that way for a long time if you listen to me. And we can turn it backwards a little bit over time. And we're not talking decades. We're talking 5 years, 10 years. It's a simple process, and it's all based on an oversight by science that is truly amazing. And if anybody out there can come up with some kind of obstacle on it, that's why I was interested in joining the show, because I can't find that yet. And that's good, though. It's exciting to have science cornered into a corner that they can't come up with a response on. And I just want to give you guys some facts before I do questions. I think it's important. What are my qualifications? Well, my biggest foot is, hey, I've been doing the power cycle for 15 years. I'm going to be 51, and I've got some things about me that are just phenomenal. I feel like I'm running around as a 35-year-old. People say I look like it. More importantly, all my numbers are in line. You know, all the important numbers for life insurance, your sugar, your cholesterol, all those, since I've been tracking the key discovery I made, have come down. And what I've backed into is why they come down. And it's actually incredible is that we have our super highway, that's our blood capillaries, plugging into 100,000 open hoses on our body, similar to your shower faucet, like 3 or 4 shower faucets put into your body that are fed from your blood. And all you got to do is raise the pressure of your blood, and it starts a process of purifying your organs by releasing the tissue water, the cell tissue water, into the bloodstream. Something science already had down 40 years ago as hydrostatic pressure. Unfortunately, they just said it goes into the bloodstream, never theorized where it goes. And that's where the power cycle comes in. It goes out the open pores, and the overlooked blood connections, your one and only blood connections to your open hoses on your body. And when you look at the contents of sweat, it almost blew you away right there. Lead, sodium, nickel, heavy metals, And here I am, also the first person in the world to state there's sugars and fats in sweat, and there factually is, and it will be proven, in microgram amounts. And each one of those leads to a disease. Sugars is a problem with diabetes. It's just sitting in the blood. And here I have a simple outlet of it. The sugar comes out. And that's right there alone, the major discovery. Never mind the fats that cause heart disease, triglycerides that come out these connections, and all the heavy metals and lead that they already factually gave me in my quotes. And so the book is really, people tell me they like the book because there's a lot of facts, and I want to share some of those facts, but I don't want to get too crazy. I think I've said a lot, and I just want to get people excited about the science, because when you start talking about something as basic as a golf hole, and that golf hole being fed by roots, and something that wants to come out in pressure, it's going to come out that golf hole naturally. It's an outlet. This is what you have in your body, and everybody's sitting there bottling up these detriments and letting them change their cells appearance, changing their hair, changing their skin, changing their brain, changing everything, and just either 9 out of 10 people are dying of cancer and heart disease. I repeat, 9 out of 10 people are dying of cancer and heart disease. The rest are accidents. All right, so we know where we're going with that. We're all going to get cancer or heart disease eventually. But I know you guys say, oh, everybody. The point is, it's happening way too soon. And the reason is obvious. This is the reason. The oversight of the pressure-built reverse filtration system, that is, your blood hooked up to your pores, that's generated by tapping into your already powerful jet stream blood circulation and making it increase, and a natural cause and effect of that, which is capillaries filling up with water from the cells and releasing through the pores. Any questions?
I love and that's been our show. No,
maybe we should call Albert Einstein. Maybe we should get Albert Einstein on the phone and see if he can come up with something for the question.
Well, seriously.
Unfortunately, this is a cult thing. And I'm going to look at that guy in the back of the stage. If you want to live, you must listen and come with me. Unfortunately, I'm not going to ask you to kill yourself in a mass suicide. Rather, I'd like to save your life, save your youth, and keep you young forever. And all you got to do is commit 5 hours a week. Hey, Tomas, you know how many hours there are in a week? Go ahead, tell me real quick.
I can't even do the math that quickly, my friend. 24
the Jeopardy clock. What's the Jeopardy clock? I can't do that hard. All right, it's 168 hours in a week.
There it is.
I love that one. You know why? Because most people sleep on that figure. They work 40, and what else do you do? Well, it's 168 hours in a week, and I, for 15 years, have 5 hours as my priority over only two things. They're not going to be a priority over my kids and their health, my family, but everything else, even work. My 6 hours of running are my priority, because without that, the 162 are going to be shot and miserable and not as good as they can be like I have them. So what this does is it creates a new priority for you, and your listeners, you're just going to be uplifted. I can't explain it. You'll be more energetic. You'll sleep better. You will think better. You will remember better. You will. It does so much for you. And the reason is, it's a lot of these detriments are causing these things: lead, mercury, factually in your brain, that are sitting there resonating in your cells. And we don't have our science stepping up to the plate and telling our Americans and all this why people are getting dementia and Alzheimer's, or why they're getting cancer. I don't want to jump all over the place. I think I'm getting too excited. I tend to do that. Let me just state that one thing about, if I ask you to do something 6 hours, it's 3% of your time a week, 168. And it turns around and gives you those 162 hours tenfold better. Wouldn't you invest that 6 hours to make the 162 tenfold better? I know I'm saying it's tenfold better, but I've experienced it, and it is. And if you don't believe me, go ask LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Alex Morgan, the only few that do my power psychometrics that you can do. You can do it. You can step up, and you can create the same metrics as we do, and the same sweat totals, and you can look like them and feel like them. What by taking advantage of something built in our body from God that is completely irrelevant? The number one quote in my body is, in my book is, the number one most relevant. On average, the body of an adult human contains 60% water. Most of the water is contained in the cells, area around cells, blood, and then the top categories after that are your vital organs: brain, heart, and lung, and liver, which are obviously made up of blood and cells. And then it says number two most relevant: the white blood cells are overwhelmed by an array of metals. Those are only minute traces, micrograms, the same amount that come out of your sweat. Just imagine what a coin in water will look like in 20 years. The carcinogenic action of metals is known, yet is totally ignored. I'm going to end it here for a second because I got too excited. All I'm telling you is if you listen to me and sweat a liter, 33 ounces, it sounds like a lot. It is. You can do it in an hour easily with mixed pastes. You're going to get out metals, sugars, salts. If you do it 5 times a week, you're erasing what's causing all these problems and aging. I don't know what more to say. I just wanted to hit everybody with it. This is a podcast, but that's what it comes down to. But you need to buy my book because there's about 10 other quotes in there that are relevant, that are going to make you feel compelled that you've got a machine in you. You've got a chance to stay young forever and change your life and hit all your goals and become spiritual and follow God's path by using your body. And I know not everybody, we have different age groups out there, and you know what, it doesn't really matter because this is really targeted towards all ages because, you know, the faster you incorporate, the better you're going to be and become more, you know, confident and unstoppable in your ways. Tomas, let me stop for a second. I feel like I'm doing a one-way conversation here. But let me have you ask me a question.
No, I am absolutely enjoying this. I'm absolutely enjoying this. I'm enjoying listening to you. You know, I just need to...
You promise me you're enjoying it. You promise me you're enjoying it.
I promise you I'm enjoying this. I need to play the devil's advocate, though, because there are some things I want you to talk to our listeners about. So, as you say this and you talk about sweat, let's say I am the person who says, well, if all I need to do is sweat, I'll just go and sit in a sauna for 5 hours a week. I'll get the same benefits. What do you say to the person
and you're
who
a smart guy.
wants that, right? That easy way out. What do you say to that person?
I say overall it's a very poor choice, and I'm going to explain to you why. If it's your only choice, I will let you do it for very limited time. All sweating is created from your heart, period. There's 2 types of sweat glands. Your apicline sweat glands under your armpits and your eccrine, which is the ones I want to talk to with blood capillaries hooked up to it. The apicline ones are under your armpits have arteries and veins directly plugged into them that are fed from your heart. And they don't tell you that nerves, coffee, anxiety makes sweat pour out of your underarms. And they have all these commercials like you got a problem. You don't have a problem. You just got something that's making you stress, anxiety, your boss, whatever, and it's making you sweat through those because your heart controls those. Those are different types of sweat glands. The ones we have that I'm talking about that are on your concentrated amounts on your forehead, the front of your neck, and the back of your neck are run by blood capillaries feeding them. And those are running back to your organs, which your heart pumps blood to. So when you sit in a sauna, some heat is created, some extraction of sweat, but the circulation is not evenly being distributed through your whole body. You're just sitting there doing nothing. Your heart rate's going to go up and up and up. And next thing you know, it's going to force the capillaries to fill up in the other ones in a way that is like it's like an abbreviated version of using the physical activity. You're just like using your heart rate, and your body's getting hot, and your heart's reacting. When you get hot, your heart increases. And that's simply the same thing that running does. So you're forcing your heart to do what running would do. Instead of running or doing something, you're letting the heat control the heart rate. It's like not like something like you wouldn't want to do. That's why they say don't stay for 20 minutes or longer. Yeah, I think it gives you an irregular heart rate. Personally, it's not something you can get a liter of sweat out. You have to stay in there for the risky time. You can't get a liter of sweat out. You can get maybe a few ounces. So the long and short of it is, it's like a shortcut you don't want to take. You know, it's generating heart rate by sitting there doing nothing, just using heat to generate heart rate. Does that sound healthy to you guys? Just to get a few ounces of sweat out? Yeah. Is there some sodium, lead, and nickel in there? Yeah, a little bit. But where is the circulation? I liken to a tsunami in your body that you're creating when, you know, you take your already powerful blood circulation, you're raising it, you're forcing the action internally. You're causing your bloodstream to merge with your cellular water to transfer and merge into your bloodstream through force. That's not happening in the sauna. You're just creating a little bit of sweat, and your heart rate's reacting to the heat. And sooner or later, if you sat in a sauna, your heart rate would just blow up and you die of a heart attack. That's what would happen because they don't really realize, they haven't ever stated that all sweating is caused from your heart. They just don't get it.
Let's take a step back and find out more about you. How do you go from a Juris Doctorate in law to this level of health expertise?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, you know, when I went to law school in the late 90s, I graduated. I was going at night, and I was working at corporate America, ADP, a payroll company, and I was thinking I was impossibly going to corporate law. It just never clicked for crossing over. I always liked my job, I was making good money. I didn't want to go take the bar exam. So, but what happened was the law stuck with me. I wrote like a lawyer, spoke like a lawyer, articulated like